Napalapala will never end. That thing he did to Zuma, of taking Zuma to prison, he has set a precedent. I think he's the next president, in office or out of office, will go to prison. We'll never allow that. The DP asked a critical question, which you are all not asking. Let's say he declared the dollars, right? Let's say his business is above board. There is nothing wrong. He did everything right. Leave him alone. That's fine. But how do you answer the question that says the trading currency in South Africa is rands? How do you escape that one? It's by law, by the way. No one is allowed to trade using foreign currency. The president has agreed, the president has accepted that he has accepted dollars from a person who came to buy buffaloes using foreign currency. How do you pass that one? See? I say fate.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Mzansi Daily Scoop. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video with your friends and family, because today we are talking about a story that continues to shake South African politics even years later, the Fala Fala scandal. And according to EFF leader Julius Malema, this matter is far from over. Malema has once again made explosive claims, saying President Cyril Ramaphosa could become the next South African president to go to prison, whether in office or after leaving office. Those are very strong words coming from one of the country's most controversial politicians, and they have reignited debate across South Africa. Now, many South Africans are asking themselves one question. Will Fala Fala ever really disappear, or is this scandal going to follow Ramaphosa for the rest of his political career? For those who may not fully remember how this story started, let's go back a little bit. The Fala Fala scandal exploded after it was alleged that millions of US dollars were stolen from Ramaphosa's Fala Fala farm in Limpopo. The shocking part was not only the robbery itself, but the claims surrounding how the money was allegedly hidden inside furniture on the farm. Questions quickly started emerging from opposition parties and the public. People wanted answers. Where did the money come from? Why was such a large amount of foreign currency allegedly kept at the farm? Was everything declared properly? And did the president handle the matter according to the law? These questions turned into a political storm that nearly destroyed Ramaphosa's presidency. At one point, many people believed he was going to resign. The pressure became too much, opposition parties demanded accountability, and social media exploded with criticism from every direction. But somehow Ramaphosa survived politically. He remained president, he managed to overcome the pressure inside the ANC, and many of his supporters argue that there was no solid proof showing he committed a crime. Others said the scandal was exaggerated by his political enemies who wanted him removed from power. However, the opposition never let the issue go. And one politician who has refused to stay quiet about Fala Fala is Julius Malema. The EFF leader has repeatedly warned that this scandal will eventually catch up with Ramaphosa. According to Malema, South Africa cannot claim to fight corruption while serious allegations against powerful leaders remain unresolved. Malema believes the law must apply equally to everyone, whether rich or poor, president or ordinary citizen. And this is why he keeps bringing up the possibility of Ramaphosa facing prison one day. But supporters of the president strongly disagree with Malema. They accuse him of using the scandal for political mileage ahead of future elections. Some ANC supporters believe Malema wants to weaken Ramaphosa because he knows the president still carries influence both inside South Africa and internationally. Others argue that Malema himself has faced controversies before, making his criticism of Ramaphosa seem politically motivated rather than based purely on principle. Still, one thing is certain: Fala Fala damaged Ramaphosa's image. Before the scandal, many South Africans saw Ramaphosa as a leader who was different from former President Jacob Zuma. He was presented as someone who would clean up corruption and restore trust in government after years of state capture allegations. But once the Fala Fala story broke, critics immediately started comparing him to the very leaders he promised to be different from. Suddenly, people began questioning whether South African politics is capable of producing leaders who are truly free from controversy. And this is why the scandal refuses to die. Every few months, the topic returns to headlines. Political opponents continue to raise it during rallies, interviews, and parliamentary debates. For them, Fala Fala represents something bigger than just one robbery at a farm. They say it represents secrecy, elite privilege, and unanswered questions at the highest level of government. At the same time, Ramaphosa's supporters argue that South Africa's institutions must be allowed to do their work without political interference. They insist that allegations alone should not be treated as proof of guilt. This has divided the country deeply. Some South Africans believe Ramaphosa is being unfairly targeted because of politics. Others believe powerful leaders are often protected while ordinary citizens face the full force of the law. And in the middle of all this stands Julius Malema, continuing to make bold predictions that grab national attention. When Malema says Ramaphosa could become the next president to go to prison, many people immediately remember what happened to Jacob Zuma. Few South Africans ever imagined a former president would actually be jailed, yet it happened. Zuma's imprisonment shocked the nation and even triggered unrest in parts of the country. So when Malema makes these statements, people do not simply ignore them. They know South African politics can be unpredictable. The bigger issue here is trust. Many citizens are tired of scandals involving politicians, while unemployment, crime and poverty continue affecting millions of people every day. Some feel political leaders spend more time fighting each other than solving the country's real problems. That frustration is growing, especially among young people who feel disconnected from political promises. And because of this anger, scandals like Fala Fala become symbols of a much larger national disappointment. For the ANC, this situation is also dangerous politically. Every scandal involving senior leaders gives opposition parties ammunition ahead of elections. Parties like the EFF and DA continue using these controversies to challenge the ANC's credibility. The ANC already faces declining support in many areas, and repeated corruption allegations only make things harder for the ruling party. Some analysts believe Fala Fala may continue haunting Ramaphosa long after he leaves office, because political scandals rarely disappear completely in South Africa. They remain part of public memory, especially when there are still unanswered questions. Others believe history may eventually judge the scandal differently, depending on what future investigations reveal. But for now, one thing is clear. The political war around Fala Fala is far from finished. Julius Malema is not backing down. Ramaphosa's supporters are defending him strongly. Opposition parties continue demanding accountability. And ordinary South Africans are left watching another political battle unfold while hoping for leadership that puts the people first. Whether Ramaphosa will ever face legal consequences, or whether this will remain a political controversy without a final conclusion, is something only time will tell. But in South Africa, politics has shown us many times before that anything can happen. What do you think about Julius Malema's statement? Do you believe the Fala Fala scandal will eventually lead to serious consequences for President Ramaphosa? Or is this just political campaigning by the opposition? Comment below and share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. This is Mzansi Daily Scoop, and we will continue bringing you the latest political updates and trending stories from across Southern Africa.